Hi, it's Reasonable Reviewer, and I wanted to do a quick review of this book, Night in Tehran by Philip Kaplan. And the book is exactly as described in the back. There's no surprises whatsoever. So it's about a guy named David Wiseman who working for the CIA, used to be a State Department guy, and the premise of the book is that he's going in just before the Shah is toppled, and he's trying to figure out who should be the succession to the Shah. And suffice it to say, it's loosely based on historical events. So you know how the book ends because you know what happened in the revolution back then. But let's just say that it might not have been the protagonist's plan, how it came out. I finished the whole book in about 6.5 hours, soup to nuts. I kind of read it while I was waiting to do laundry and some other things. It's I would say from a pacing standpoint, very, very moderately paced. I mean, there's a few kind of action sequences. This is not the Bourne trilogy. This is not James Bond kind of thing. This is kind of it's almost like an espionage cozy in a way, except it's set in an exotic locale. The one thing I do want to give him credit for, and I'm only going to go do a couple. I had a number of other pages, but I'm just going to do a couple. One of the things is that in actuality, he did a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job of doing research on the various viewpoints in the various factions that existed in Tehran and Iran at that point in time. And he talks about their secret police, he talks about the Shah's allies, he talks about the businessmen, he talks about the clerics. And I actually thought that was pretty good. And then the other thing I would say he did a good job on is his tradecraft. He actually spends some good time talking about tradecraft, and those of you who read enough espionage novels will know what I mean by that. And so, overall, it's a fictional work, and it's clearly a fictional work. And it's kind of not in a way, when I picked this up, I kind of thought, well, maybe this is kind of an autobiography under a pseudonym or something, but no, that's not the case. And when you read it through, you kind of go, yeah, that wouldn't happen. So it's clearly a fictional work. I give it 3.5, and I'm going to round up to 4 stars. It was diverting. It's more of a espionage cozy than it is like a thriller or heart-pounding adventures or something like that. So if you read the back plate and you kind of go, oh my gosh, this is going to be a roller coaster ride, yeah, not so much. But it actually is very interesting in terms of a political study. Does have some interesting and I think realistic tradecraft in it. And it's well written. I mean, Philip Kaplan does a great job with his characters and voice and consistency. And the scenes are very descriptive. So if you're into kind of more, I'm not going to say psychological, it's like a cozy. So if you enjoy reading Murder, She Wrote or some of those kind of stories, or if you're more interested in flavor than in heart-pounding action, this is kind of the opposite end of a pulp when you think about an espionage novel. So 3.5, I'll round up to 4 stars. And I think that there's definitely an audience for this, and Philip Kaplan's a good writer, so 4 stars.